is not enjoyable by any means. So if that's the case, you better find a spot that has an excellent drainage system. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of rain delays, a lot of cancellations, a lot of makeups, a lot of double headers. So I think that is something that
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Rays, your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays. From game analysis to player interviews, we've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss. Ulises is not here today because he graciously took over duties on Monday, but hopefully I will still be bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays, whether you're a diehard fan who vividly remembers Longo's Game 162 just like us, or you remember the early Double Ray days of Wade Boggs and Carl Crawford. We are here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this is our sixth season covering the Rays daily. So grab your favorite Rays gear, settle in, subscribe to our Locked On Rays YouTube channel and other podcast platforms. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays. This episode is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. The right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your baseball rivals. Book today on Booking.com, the official accommodation partner of Major League Baseball. Get the Booking.com app today. All right, it is a Wednesday episode, and we try to make this a theme. We try to make it a recurring segment, mailbag episode, and we have few mailbag questions to get to from the listeners out there, mostly from social media and direct messages. So without further ado, let's dive in here. This first one comes from Kim on Instagram. Kim says, where would you like the Rays to play in 2025? Not necessarily where you think they will play, but where you want them to play. Well, Kim, good question. Fun question. Interesting question. Yeah, that is still to be determined where the Rays are going to play in 2025. In fact, I've heard that through the grapevine, the Oakland Athletics, well, I guess the Oakland community, the city of Oakland and the powers that be over there are hoping to bring the Rays over to the West Coast and have them use their soon-to-be vacant stadium for the next couple of years. So that would really throw a twist in the matter and situation. We've heard a lot of ideas, a lot of suggestions, whether that is playing at a spring training facility in the Tampa Bay area, playing at their own spring training facility in Port Charlotte, playing at the Disney complex, playing at Al Lang. So much has been bandied about. Selfishly, considering I am a Hillsborough resident, and I guess technically an East Hillsborough resident, I reside, I'll just say the Plant City area. Extremely selfishly, I wouldn't mind if the Rays decided to set up shop in 2025 where the Lakeland Tigers play, or the vacant Plant City Stadium, which I believe used to be the spring training home of the Cincinnati Reds. To my knowledge, that facility, which I'll be honest, it's old, seems pretty outdated, pretty run down, but it is a ballpark, and I think it holds around 6,000-7,000 people. And my recollection and understanding of what it's used for is mainly softball, recreational sporting events, different concerts and events that the Plant City community puts on. So it's not like there is a minor league team that's housed there, or it's not used as a spring training site. So I think, honestly, that is the key, is finding somewhere where you don't have to navigate the conflicting schedules of another team, whether you plan to set up shop in the same stadium as another major league team or set up shop in another stadium with a minor league team. I feel like the schedules would really make things challenging. And we've talked about it on the pod as well. It's really going to be sucky if the Rays have to play the summer months outdoors with the raining season, the heat. It is not enjoyable by any means. So if that's the case, you better find a spot that has an excellent drainage system. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of rain delays, a lot of cancellations, a lot of makeups, a lot of double headers. So I think that is something that is going to have to be navigated. So yeah, I would say you can set up shop with the Lakeland Tigers or Plant City Stadium. I'd be all for it. I mean, to me, what might make the most sense is the Rays do own the Tampa Bay Rowdies, so just repurpose Al Lang Stadium into a baseball field as best as possible. Change out the signage, and I don't know how many soccer games are there during the season. I don't even know when the Rowdies play, quite frankly, but I think it's a pretty small schedule in compared to a minor league baseball team or something like that. So that's what I would say. Still no determination as to what's going to happen at the Trop. I would think that the city, the state, the Rays, FEMA, Major League Baseball could all come together, sit at the table, and try to find some sort of rapid resolution if possible. So just wanted to throw that out there. Fun question to answer. And this will not be the last of the stadium saga. This is a new stadium saga, which is crazy to think. We dealt with one for, 15 years, and now we're dealing with Tropgate or Roofgate, however you want to qualify it there. All right, we have more mailbag questions to get to. But first, we have to tell the audience a couple of very important things. So, FanDuel, we love FanDuel, don't we? And here's why. NFL fans, you can start the season with a big, and I mean big, return on FanDuel. It is America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Where's that at? That's at FanDuel.com. We also want to tell you about Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy MLB tickets for every kind of event in your area. What's really cool is the view from all seats in the venue, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, and so much more. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets and more with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, let's roll into this next mailbag question. This comes from Shane on Instagram. What is one promotion you'd like to see the Rays do in 2025? Okay, so I assume that he is talking about in-game giveaways. That's how I'm going to answer this question. Anyway, I'll be honest, there are not many times that I look at the promotion schedule and say, all right, I'm going to sign up and attend this game because they're giving away X, Y, and Z. I more so am looking at the opponent, time of game, day of game, how it aligns with my ever busy schedule, and go from there. I would say there's probably two recent instances where I actually, based on the promotion or the giveaway, I was like, all right, I'm going to buy tickets for that event. I got to go and cop me that. And that was the Now, unfortunate Wander Franco bat. That was a great giveaway. And then very shortly thereafter, I think it was within a couple days that the news broke that Franco might not be such a good character. Because I believe it was August 2023, if I recall, and everybody was uh, gung ho to get that bat after the game. And smartly, the Rays decided, all right, we're not going to give these out pregame or during the game, and might have somebody have too many an adult beverage, whatnot. See a rival fan. We don't need the violence there, so we're going to wait till the end of the game to hand out these puppies. And believe it or not, call me bad, but I still have that bat. I just turn it around so the name and the number of Wander Franco is not visible, but the bat is still hanging in my office. The other one was with the Rays City Connect unveil. They did the skateboard giveaway without the wheels. So I can't think of the term that it's called, but the deck. There we go. The skateboard deck giveaway that was, I guess, also co-sponsored by Bally's. That was pretty good. And I still have yet to hang that up. I'm not even sure where it is really right now. I think it might be in a closet. But I think things like that, where you can display or hang in your man cave, your woman cave, your office, wherever, I think those are good. And, I'm always down for a solid quality hat, maybe a pint glass, maybe a shot glass, or a tumbler, something that I would have some useful value in life over. As far as, I think the Rays do a pretty good job of coming up with some creative items. I guess one thing, it's not really creative per se, but it's low hanging fruit. Maybe this is for, the kids, the 14 and under crowd, is maybe you get a pair of Yandy Diaz dumbbells or something to that effect. That might be an idea going forward. But yeah, so something that I can display or drink out of or wear, that's usually my go-to there. So thank you for that question. We have another mailbag question to get to, but first we have to tell the audience another important thing. And they were the title sponsor of this episode, and that is Booking. You can explore those U.S. cities you always secretly wanted to learn about, and other baseball cities with hotels, bed and breakfast, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more on Booking.com. You might just find your perfect stay, even in your baseball rival city during postseason. Maybe it's time to taste test your baseball competition stadium cuisine. Well, luckily on Booking.com, you can find the stadium stay that's just right for you. With Booking.com's wide variety of choice across the U.S., you can go incognito to all your baseball rival cities. Booking.com delivers exactly the right U.S. stay for you. It can help you book a stay that's close to your home teams or rival stadium. And no matter what team you're rooting for this postseason, Booking.com can make you a fan of any USA city. From hotels and lookover stadiums to family-friendly resorts to cute bed and breakfast stays, Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your baseball rivals. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. All right. Getting to, actually, might be mistaken here. We might have two more mailbag questions. I might have bypassed one there. Yeah, so here is another one. This comes from Lance on Twitter. Lance brings up the point that the Rays had no American League Gold Glove finalists this year and wants to know if we think anybody got snubbed, any Rays players got snubbed on this list. And what I would say to that is yes, probably, perhaps. I do know that, look, I guess, one of the big names out there is Taylor Walls for his defensive aptitude. I believe the issue with him not being a finalist is because he didn't have enough innings to qualify. I don't think he made his MLB until June due to injuries. So that automatically knocks him out of the picture. Now, if he was healthy for more of an extended period of time, got more action, then I would probably safely assume that he would be one of the 3 finalists for shortstop. Then the other big name we have to talk about is Jose Siri. Jose Siri was not one of the final 3 center field finalists. So if you look at Siri's numbers, defensive runs saved, outs above average, he ranks pretty much top of the board or very high up there. Now, the problem is that this is not just a statistic focused award or a defensive statistic focused award, something that Ulises and I have talked about previously. It does seem, even though it is a glove, there seems to be some weight involved with how often productive a particular player is. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I believe managers have a pretty large say in this, and based on the history and attitude and mindset of coaches and managers, I get the impression they probably don't necessarily like the way that Jose Siri plays, with his showboating, some of the boneheaded mistakes that he's made, the fact that he got benched. I think that, look, guys around the league know certain players have reputations. So does Siri get a demerit because of that? I would think there is something to be said there. All things being equal, if he wasn't benched, if he just played the game like coaches and managers believe the game should be played, I would probably safely assume he would be on the list. So I'll just put that out there. Who's ultimately going to win it? That's a good question as well. I keep hearing Evan Klosky and others. They say Dalton Varsho, Dalton Varsho, Dalton Varsho. So that would probably be my pick for that. But yeah, I would think that, I wouldn't say I was shocked, but surprised that Siri didn't make the final 3, because I'm pretty sure he definitely played enough games to warrant consideration. But I think there's some of that baggage that doesn't help him with this type of situation. So I just want to throw that out there as well. Go out and look at the numbers, look at StatCast, and see where he ranks in range, arm value, defensive value, 5-star catches. It's pretty notable that it's like, okay, why is he not on that list? So there it is. Final question we'll get to comes from Mark on Instagram. Again, we thank you for sending us these questions, whether it's through social media, whether it's a voice memo, through email, whether you want to send us a carrier pigeon. We just love getting topic ideas and questions, or a YouTube comment. We even take the YouTube comments and we'll turn them into full segments or episodes sometimes. All right, so which Rays prospect are you most excited about, not named Junior Caminero? Okay, so Junior Caminero cannot be considered. And I guess we're almost to the point where Junior Caminero is probably elevated above prospect status. I mean, it seems like he's pretty much a full-fledged major leaguer at this point. Definitely once we get into next season, and maybe he will gift us 25 to 30 home runs, a 275 batting average, and some stellar defense at third base, and he can be a middle-of-the-order puncher that we desperately, desperately need. Because if you notice something about the Rays, well, the offense stunk this past season, but the home runs were no bueno. They need to hit more home runs, and more home runs with runners on base. That is very, very critical this offseason to find guys or to identify guys that can do that for the Rays. But I will actually kind of go in a little bit different direction here and just say Chandler Simpson. I mean, there's really nothing else he can prove at the minor league level. The fact that he hit 355 with an 807 OPS in 104 stolen bases in 110 games for Bowling Green and Montgomery. I would expect him to get the bump up to Durham next season, and I would not be shocked or surprised to see him in the major leagues by sometime midseason or end of season. And I don't know. I think that the Rays might view him as a successor to Jose Siri at some point, maybe, hopefully, possibly sooner rather than later. And again, we know that Chandler Simpson is not going to bring a lick of power. He had an 807 OPS with, I believe, 1 home run, and that was an inside the park home run. But he does have qualities that not many other players on the Rays or anyone else. The historic generational speed and ability to, if he gets to first, which I think he will a lot of times, whether it's by bunting or hitting a triple or maybe even a hard grounder to short, he might still beat something out there. But the bat to ball skills, the mature approach at the plate, the fact that he doesn't strike out, the fact that he's at least going to put the pitching staff, the opposing pitching staff in defense on their toes, whether he's at the plate or he's on base, I think is very, very important. That's going to lead to a positive trickle-down effect for the rest of the Rays. And I think that even if the hit tool isn't totally there, or the Rays, or he's a little bit green, I mean, based on the numbers, it seems like he's crushing it each and everywhere he goes. Looks like there was looks like that was Stu Sternberg texting me. I got to deal with that later. But yeah, God, Stu, you annoy me at you. I don't want to say annoy. He texts me at the absolute worst times. I'll just say that. All right, but yeah, Chandler Simpson. That's my answer. Speed, hopefully, center field defense, putting bat to ball, drawing walks. I think those are things that the Rays need. So there we go. All right, thank you all for the questions. We appreciate it. You can also email us, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Talk to you later. Have a good day. And Ulises and I plan to be back together on Thursday and Friday.